I'm on mute. I'm on mute. What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? We are live. We are live. We are back in the building. And shout out to you. So what up? What up? We got a few late people that's going to come in the building in a few. But right now we got my man Professor in the building. Shout out to Professor. We got I'm So Chill in the building. And none other than Kit is in the building. Shout out to Kit. And let's also thank everybody who is here early with us. Embrace the grace. What up? What up? What up? And also my man, Skinny. He is in the building. Shout out to my guy, Skinny. What up? What up? What up? Always holding it down. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button as soon as you come in the door. All right, y'all. So
what's up?
We
What's
early,
on your mind?
We early. I had a little something special I wanted to show whoever's in the building. I'll play it once again after the fact. But right now, I got a surprise for y'all to get ready for Meet to Marry season 2. Let's get active.
North Carolina, a city of energy and charm, and now a second chance at love. And now we're back for season 2. More dates, more choices, and let's be honest, more drama.
So here's how it works. Our main contestant is on a search to find love. They will meet 3 hopeful daters, but at the end they'll have to eliminate 2.
So here's the twist. Our dater could either choose to match with our main contestant or eliminate them.
That's right. It's all about bold choices and finding the one or realizing they're not the one.
So who will find love and who will leave disappointed?
So find out now on an all-new episode of Meet to Marry.
All right, y'all. All right.
Yeah.
We are ready.
Oh.
Thank you.
Y'all looking like a
Yo,
beautiful goddamn couple, man. Look at y'all. Oh,
Love it.
Give me
Love
the
it.
formal
I love
ruddies,
it. Yo, Neo, good. Looking good. All right. We are getting ready to get active.
All
Meet
right.
to Marry should be dropping in another roughly week or so. So I'm excited. Y'all ready for it?
I'm definitely ready. I need to see who gonna get picked and who gonna get kicked. I'm looking for the drama. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the drama.
I'm ready to react to it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Love it. Yo, do me a favor. Go over to Professor's channel. He has been doing reactions. I saw the last one with Kit. It was hilarious. So, yo, do me a favor and go over there and check out the episodes.
It's all
my
Kit.
man's
All
reactions to it. Nah, man, your editing skills are superb at this point. Killing it for real, man. So,
I think I was
Skinny said, "Are you on season 2?"
I mean, I don't know. Am I on season 2?
You looking for a match, Kit? We're trying to get you
Kit.
married, girl.
Oh no.
Kit will always be in the background.
See how they do me? They don't let me come outside.
I can play the background.
That's the problem. They
background.
never let me.
You know what I'm saying?
They never let me come outside. That's the problem.
You know what I'm saying? Kit is for the house. So check it.
What's up?
Right. I wanted to get into this topic today, but before I do, I want to make sure everybody do me a favor, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed, and also share the content. Let everybody know that we're live over here. We got a good show coming up for y'all on this good Sunday. So with that also being said, I wanted to start before, because I know y'all saw the thumbnail, but before we get into the main topic, I really wanted to discuss the topic of that young lady that got hit over the head with a baton that was running track, and how our people tend to rally around foolishness and the lack of accountability and the way it's just going to continue to hurt us. So hold up, before I get into it, let's play this video. All right. Let me get my life together.
We got that charge of assault and battery confirmed by the Lynchburg Commonwealth's attorney. And Smith NAACP says it's concerning, saying that the viral video that many have seen does not warrant this kind of response.
We have to take care of our children more as a people. We should not have adults attacking young children on either side.
That's what Genoa Everett had to say about the extensive backlash his daughter Alayla has faced after a viral incident brought nationwide attention to the family. In the video, Alayla is seen striking an opponent, Kaylin Tucker, with a baton from behind. Alayla says her opponent was running very close to her. The closeness caused Alayla to lose her balance. In an attempt to regain it, she pumped her arm forward to regain her stride, and that's when Tucker got hit. But for many watching the viral video that shows the incident from the front, they think it was intentional.
Or just seeing one video and it looks bad from that angle.
A certified USA.
All right. We don't need to keep going because I want to get into this topic because it's crazy how we lack such accountability, how the NAACP rallied around the foolishness as well. And it's sad, but I would like for any one of y'all to get into y'all thoughts on the topic.
So I'm gonna start by saying, so is this? I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, for the folks, like they try to make it seem like it was a bunch of people rallying against that girl. Everybody know that girl is guilty as hell, as guilty as all sin. She hit that young lady on purpose because she was about to get beat. She was about to lose the race. So out of sheer anger, she bopped that girl over the head. And when you look at the video of the people rallying around her when they were putting her out in the press and everything, it was only a handful of people. But yet the media is going to try to make it seem like, oh, the whole black community is like siding with her or whatever. No, we not. No, we not. We are one of the few communities that actually hold people accountable for the messed up stuff they do. That's just how it is.
You said black people are the community that hold people accountable for what they do?
Heck yeah. When somebody murders somebody, hey, they do. Red
rum, YouTube.
Oh, my bad. When somebody, unalive,
takes another person out.
Yeah, it takes another person out. I apologize, YouTube, but we tend to do. I mean, we tend to do hold people accountable for the things that they do. And any type of thing. That's what I'd be saying. But I've got to be honest. There are certain fractions within the black community. And this is just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like this shift, this divide. Like people are breaking up into their respective corners of the said black community. And with that little situation with that young lady hitting that girl, nah, man. The NAACP, I don't know why they doing what they doing. I don't follow that group anyway. They're a bunch of do-nothings, and they will always take an opportunity to try to. I don't know. I can't really call what it really is, but the support that people are thinking she's getting is not like that. It's just friends of families and families of friends, just a small little pocket. And I encourage everybody to go and watch that little video. It's literally a handful of them. And they posted that video on Twitter. And Twitter had to say it's literally only a dozen people. It's not hundreds. Why would they lie and say it's hundreds?
So I mean, I'm gonna have to say with that situation, I'm gonna want to say I've seen an overwhelming amount of people say what you're saying, that she wilded out, right? But
yeah,
I'm also have to disagree with you when you said that our community holds people accountable more than any other community. Our community holds up trash. Let's keep it real.
You gotta give me an example. I'm
gonna give you an example. You just used the example of unaliving people, right?
Right.
How many times you see free my N-word, or someone trying to find an excuse on why this N-word should not be in jail? Or let's not even go that far to unaliving someone. Let's just go as far as twerking on tables. Let's just go as far as you could do whatever you want and no man can judge me. Our community is huge on that. You know, we
still
don't
need an
hold each
example.
other accountable. Well, I just gave you two twerking on tables, right?
Okay.
That's accepted because the man look at that incident with the homie that had the restaurant, right? Where they was dancing, twerking, all that. The overwhelming majority of people said that he needed to mind his business in his own restaurant, what he owns. These are what you heard overwhelmingly was these are grown folks. They should be able to do what they want to do. And if not, those people shouldn't even, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to listen to him, stay out of the conversation. So that's one example, right? Let's talk about the countless examples of us doing wrong in our community and not holding each other accountable to uplift one another, which is a problem because I think if we held each other accountable more as a race, we would be a lot further as a people.
Okay, I'll respond to that. Now, I will say, I did say earlier that there are different fractions. So, you know, what I've noticed and what has been growing ever, it's been growing at an alarming rate that now people are, you know, especially people of my lineage, we're now separating from everybody else because what's been happening is everybody come here from other places, from other lineages, and they're dumped their degenerate behaviors and the actions of their brothers, sisters, cousins, uncle, daddies, strictly on the Black community. We have to absorb everybody's wrongdoings. But when they do something positive, they be like, oh, I'm Jamaican. Oh, I'm Caribbean. Oh, I'm Haitian. Oh, whenever they do something positive, but when they do something negative, they dump it on the Black community. And we got to absorb that. And now we're saying, nah, enough is enough. Check their paperwork. Where these people from?
Are you saying that the majority of the degeneracy that's happening in the Black community overall is happening by other races of people, not other races, but other
lineages.
Of the diaspora.
Yeah. Yes.
Cultures.
Yes, indeed.
I disagree.
Yes,
with that.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, like the young lady that hit the girl over the head. The young lady that hit the girl over the head. Her peoples, that her father, he is he's not Black American. His descent is from somewhere else. What he created the Ubuntu series. You know what I'm saying? But they come here and they blend in and they look just like us and sound just like us. But their lineage is from somewhere else. Man, I'm not knocking them because I love all my melanated people. But when you only come to dump your wrongdoings on a whole lineage and they got to absorb that, that's messed up. That's messed up.
So me personally, I feel as if you're looking at a very I think you're looking at it from a very small, narrow point of view. When you talk these type of topics of what's happening in these communities, right?
Yeah.
You look at these gangs, right? It's not overwhelmingly Trinidadians, Jamaicans, and West Indians that's in these gangs. I'm telling you, the boatload. You go to New York. I'm trying to tell you, the boatload of the people that's in. The boatload of those people that's not saying there's not no Jamaican mafia, not saying there's none of that stuff going on. I'm not saying there's none of that. What I'm trying to say is you go overwhelmingly who's doing a lot of those crimes, and I'm not, but I don't want the audience to think that I'm separating Black people at all. I'm not. Black people are Black people in America, and that's how I look at it, right? We're all here. So whether I'm part of the Bloods and you're part of the Bloods, but I happen to be Trinidadian, you happen to be Jamaican, we're part of this. We're in the same gang. You know what I'm saying? And the gangs don't separate you. Oh, you from Trinidad, you can't be a part of this gang. You from Guyana, you can't be a part of this gang. You Black, you in the gang, right? So that's how I've always seen it. Because guess what? I was in the gang, right? Yeah. So
I've never been in the gang.
I have. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not proud of it at all. But what I'm trying to say is that's the reality of it. We are lumped together, and it's not one group that's coming over here to the U.S. creating all the crime, and then all of these Americans are just sitting here innocent, taking all the rap for what other people are doing. No, Americans, you see more often than none, people come from other countries and actually build something. And then and I'm not knocking, I'm not calling Americans lazy, but then you do see a lot of Americans that are out here looking to work for someone, or if not, They're trying to figure it out still. And then the biggest complaint you'll see is between like the Africans, let's use them, to the Americans, right? To the Black Americans. One thing that they'll say is that Black Americans are lazy. They'll say that because they feel as if they're coming over here actually becoming doctors and lawyers and all of that good stuff, yet the Americans aren't. So I'm not saying I agree with that, but what I'm saying is what you're saying, I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
I mean, I hear you, but let's, like you pointed out New York. New York, it has been one of the known sanctuary states. You know what I'm saying? Most Black Americans done moved out of New York because, you know, the immigration policies there. You know what I'm saying? All the resources are given to people that come over here. And then after the second generations of, you know, kids they had here, they'll tell their kids, yeah, we came here with $1 and we got it from the mud. And that's a total lie, because you look at the US aid that they just now cut and stopped. You know, all these people that come here.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the violence, right? So whoever's getting aid to do whatever or not, we're talking about who's committing the crimes, who's doing the degeneracy, who's doing debauchery, right? Who's on tables twerking, who's wild. You don't know who's doing what because we all look alike. That's what I'm saying.
In some aspects, yeah, in some aspects, and I will say that. So when it comes to the twerking on the table, you know, let's just keep it a buck. Like, men can't really keep, you know what I'm saying, can't, you know, say too much to women or whatever, man. And women have fallen back from checking each other from, you know, degenerate behaviors. And that's just always been the case. But when it comes to the men have always, especially Black American men have always, you know what I'm saying, been one of the ones that call each other out on degenerate behaviors. Like I said, you go to prison for doing something to a child off rip, your life is over once you get locked up. On the flip side, if that same type of thing happened in a woman's situation, you could be whatever you want, and there's no repercussions, no punishment, no judgment whatsoever. They'll be looking at you like, hey girl, let me braid your hair, after she done just, you know, did something to some kids or whatever. It's just men hold each other accountable. I can't really speak to, you know what I'm saying, ladies twerking and stuff, because I don't try to hold women accountable, because that's just going to come off as like complaining or whining. I look for the women to hold the women accountable, and for the men to hold each other accountable, especially when it comes to gangs and crime and stuff like that. You know, that's what I've seen, and especially in the multitude of states that I've been in. You know, I can spot somebody who is of my lineage versus somebody who isn't of my lineage, you know, and no shade to nobody, because I love all melanated people, but I do take issue with people, you know, wanting to be all inclusive when it's something negative, but then when it's something positive, they quick to disperse and be like, oh, well, we did this. And, you know, it's a deeper story. And maybe one day we should have a deeper conversation about that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to divert too much.
No, I don't mind getting into it, because it is a good topic. Let me address this real quick. We have a $100 super chat from my guy Block Chase. Shout out to you.
I love that sound, man.
Oh, yeah, thank God we ain't got Kid over here doing it. But thank you, my brother. Much appreciated for all your support. We got CB in the building. Shout out to you. She completely disagrees with everything you're saying right now, Chill.
And I'll ask her. Then let's ask CB. Where your people's from? And then I'll leave.
Hold on. We got red. Hold on. Before we go, red lipstick. We got red lipstick in the building. Shout out to you. I think she disagrees with you as well. And
where your people's from?
Oh man. And who else we got in the chat? Well, all right.
Look at Quinn.
Everyone let's get it active today. Yo,
somebody put him in the closet.
What up?
What's going on? Sorry for my tardiness.
Nah, it's all good. I don't know if you hear what Chill is saying. I don't disagree with Chill too much. But today, Chill, you know what I'm saying? Oh man,
what's Chill talking about?
In the building, huh? So all right, Chill. Chill.
I heard a little bit. I was listening to the show.
She said, okay, so CB says, she says, I'm Black American and I can trace my family back to the mid 1700s. Wow. That's what's up.
How can you do that? And the census only came out. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No, not the census. You know, like you could trace
right.
a lot of your lineage back now from when the moment they jumped off that ship and they started signing them paperworks. Yeah, you could trace your family back. But so yeah, what do you think? So what do you think about what Chill was saying, Quit?
I can agree with quite a bit of it.
I'm gonna let Kit and Professor get into this just now too, because I see both of their faces. They're like, "Oh shit."
I can agree with quite a bit of it. It's like a lot of people come over here. They don't realize that the stuff that the foundational Black Americans went through made it possible for them to come over here. They forget all that, and they come over here and they it seems as if, I hate to use this word, but it seems as if they try to assume the role as the oppressor, or they try to side with the oppressor to a certain, you know what I'm saying, in that it's like they want to talk down on us and separate themselves from us until they have that N-word wake up moment. And when they have that moment, now it's all of us together.
Why don't y'all think? I got a question for y'all. Why don't do y'all believe that West Indians went through the same form of racism and poverty as y'all did in their countries, or do you think like a lot of West Indians came over here and just was like, all right, we got grants, we got this, we got that, we're good. So how do y'all feel about that?
So tell me, how good is it in the West Indies?
I can tell you it's not good.
How does it look over there now? And why are so many trying to come over here?
I could tell you that the West Indies are a third, most of them. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I could tell you that Trinidad is still declared a third world country.
Right.
So when they come over here and see us in the situation that we're in, what they don't realize is anyone who touched ground over here is pitted against us anyway. And so they try to join the movement until they get that wake-up call.
I mean, I think we get the wake-up call the moment we came here. I mean, my mother, I wouldn't say no if you're not a part of that experience. My mother came out, hold on. My mother came out here and got called a nigga the moment she got off the plane. So I don't know why would you say that we don't experience that coming from the West Indies?
If they had that wake up call as soon as they got here, they wouldn't say the things that they say.
Well, what do they say?
So I'm gonna say this. So here's the thing, you know, I see what Quint is trying to say, but so I understand what all Black nations done went through this. All Black nations done went through oppression and everything. That's why you got a lot of people leaving their homeland, their birthright, to come to a place that was built up specifically by Black Americans. Like the inventions, the things that y'all enjoy in your houses right now to this day, even over there where your people came from. Black Americans created that, man. You know, a lot of it. And the thing is, when people come over here, you know, there's like this stigma, like, you know, they say we lazy, we don't do this, we don't do that, but we've already done these things and we're still doing them to this day. Entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, we've done those things before these people even came here. You know what I'm saying? We were the first Black American men was the first nurses in this country. It wasn't white dudes, it wasn't us. We were the first ones. You know, it was something that we created to help.
EMT.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these investments and things that people are talking about, but we've already done that. And we built this place to be as comfortable as ever. And yet when people come over here, they're told to stay away from them, stay away from the Black Americans, they're this, they're that. And yet everybody comes over here and mimic everything we do. Everything. From the way we dress.
You mainly sorry, guys. No, go ahead, bro.
No,
sorry. I thought you was landing.
I'm about to. I got you. From the way we dress to the way we talk to the foods we cook to the dances to everything, you know. And it's like this country specifically, you know, tries to profit off of, you know what I'm saying, our culture, our lineage, everything that's about us, and give a chunks and piece to everybody, you know, while constantly pointing the finger, wagging the finger at us, saying that we're not doing this and we're not doing that. And that's, you know, it's systemic, and I see it, you know. And what he was trying to say is like, now everybody wants to be one, when at first everybody was separated. They were quick to say, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm not, like, especially Dominicans, I'm no black, I'm Dominican, which is cool. But now it's changing, because, you know, what I'm seeing today is like Black Americans say, cool, y'all aren't black, y'all are whatever you are, and we are this. And it's a delineation that's happening. It's been happening for the past 4 years now.
You think it's the overall you think it's the overall of the West Indians, Africans that actually come over here and say, I'm not black? Or you think you just hear that from time to time? Because
no, that's usually what it is. Because here's the thing, you got to think, when they come over here, a lot of people, like, let's just say parents, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people that's over here now, they're probably like second generations. They got they're you know, they got kids, their kids got kids now. And when they came over here, they was like, you know, I don't care what happened, long as I don't get treated like them. So I'm not gonna go around and say that I'm like them, because I'm gonna get treated like them. And they ain't gonna sit up there and stand up and fight the certain type of fights that we fight, because their status in this country will be in jeopardy. So in a sense, they're not gonna
I'm listening to y'all and I'm like, if you looked at me, would you think that I look different than you? Would you have even known that I was?
Yeah. I actually, yeah, your phenotype is different. We got different phenotypes, but
no,
I rock with you. Go ahead.
No, hold on. But what I'm saying, I know Quentin is bull right now. He on the BS. I know Quentin. But what I'm trying to say is, you think when I walk outside, the average person gonna look at me like, oh, he not a Black American man. He's West Indian. No.
I think what we're doing, what's being misconstrued or what's being missed by one another, is in all actuality, what I'm doing. I can't speak for Chill or anyone else. I'm saying what I'm doing. I'm doing to you all, or the West Indies, Africans, or what have you, what we don't like being done to us. You see, we're being judged in the U.S. The foundational Black Americans are being judged by the bad, by the few that do bad. They represent the majority of us. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm judging the few Middle Easterns, Africa, well, not Middle Eastern, West Indies, Africans, Caribbeans, or what have you, that come over here and say the negative things. Everybody don't do that. Just like all of us are not bad, criminal, lazy, or whatever the case. So we're just speaking on the worst. We're not saying everyone. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, but what y'all saying, regardless to what, we Black, you might just be a Black American, I'm a Black West Indian, but we're Black people. And that's the part that I'm like, I don't care what the few say. I know Quint like, yo, Mingo extra Black, but whatever, right?
No, you ain't said that like that.
You said that, Quint. Oh God dang, man.
I don't care what the people say, but hold up. Let me get a little something from Professor and Kid on this. Professor, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Me and the Black delegation respectfully decline this to have this conversation. I mean, no, just at the end of the day, man, no matter if you're in the United States and you have darker skin and you don't speak Spanish, you Black. That is what it is. You're gonna be called, the third line of my favorite song, Trinidad James, All Gold Everything, that my white compadres can't sing. But no, I mean, you're gonna be called the N-word all day long. So it is what it is, man. I ain't got time to deviate. When I see a Hispanic person, I don't care if you're Honduran, El Salvadorian, Costa Rican, I don't care where you're from. You just Hispanic to me until we figure it out.
Hispanic, right?
I'm not deviating. If you white, you just white. I'm not deviating. If you Native American,
or you from Europe white, you're a European, or you from like you're white. You don't care if you're from Australia. I don't care where you're from. You're a white person. But we're the ones that's trying to separate ourselves into because of what certain groups say. Now, do you know that there's white Europeans that think that they're better than American white people, right? But they don't sit back and say, well, you're not white because you're not me. But we're trying to basically have the argument of, okay, well, y'all didn't invent this, right? Y'all didn't invent what's inside the light bulb. That wasn't your argument. That was Chill's argument, Quint.
I know it.
Y'all, so basically, y'all benefiting off of something that we invented as if West Indians invented nothing, right? And I don't want to talk about all of those facts because I don't have them. But I'm quite sure that the majority of y'all have no idea, but y'all probably sitting on all types of different backgrounds, but y'all have no idea what's running through your blood right now. Because
I know.
Well, you a country bumpkin down there, so I could imagine you Quint sound just like he hopped off the slave ship 3 weeks ago. But
no, I was already here. I ain't get on the slave ship.
My bloodline was here.
I was already here. Hey, but you know what, Mingo? I mean, GMT, the Europeans do have problems with one another. They do have those arguments and what have you from where they're from and this and that. They do.
You know that.
No, I'm just telling you, they do.
I mean, Quint, I'm gonna say this. I mean, when Irish people came over here, they had a name. When Italians came over here, they had a name. When Jewish people, they had a name. So they all were called N-words in their own ways when they first got here. So they all were sort of segregated in certain parts when they first got here, but they're not doing that now. And I can go a little bit longer, some other stuff about what Highway said, what Wall Street said, but I'll let you finish, Quinn. I apologize.
Oh, no, you good, man. You good to go. I just say that I will say this. When GMT said that we're all the N-word, when we're called the when foundational Black Americans are called the N-word, the reaction is different from the people that come over here because the people from the Caribbean islands of Africa, where they'll say, I'm not that, I'm African. I'm Jamaican. I'm this, I'm that. So, you know, I'm just telling you what I know.
No, you're telling me what you think. You're not telling me what you know.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Right. So that's that's your own anecdotal experiences. Does not make it
I'm just telling you what I see.
The majority of us, right? You call me an N-word, I'm gonna react the same way you gonna react. I'm not gonna sit there and say, well, that's not me, because my family's from Trinidad. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna react the same way you gonna react, and I might end up in jail the same way you would end up in jail. Kid, what's your thought on the topic? Hold on, sorry, real quick. We didn't give Kid a chance. You know what I'm saying? Quick was quiet this whole time. What up, Kid?
Well, hello, everyone. But so this might. So I'm down the middle on this, right? And here's why. I understand what you're saying, GMT, but you are speaking more from an Americanized experience. So whereas you may not say, "Oh, I'm not the the N-word. I'm this." There are a lot of you that do, and even if we go to the presidency, right? If we when they was in the race, 1 minute, Kamala was an Indian woman running for Senate. Then she was, and then, her parents was Jamaican. So then all of a sudden it was like, oh, she's now Black. And but again, it's always used when it's convenient, and then it's thrown away when it's not. And that happens a lot. So even though I hate to slightly agree with old Shiny down there, like he actually has a point as far as how it is perceived. And I'm not saying it's not about a right, wrong, or indifferent. It's more about what it is. And people from, if they have different heritages, regardless, they be like, oh no, I'm Bayesian, or oh no, I'm Jamaican, but it's never, oh, I'm Black, as far as like just the Black experience. I think that's more an Americanized thing. But when they're from someplace else, especially if they have an accent of someplace else, or like a very recent lineage, not something that you have to kind of go and find and pull out your binoculars to go and search, but more like, oh no, my grandmother still lives over there, I used to go there every summer. It's a different energy. And again, it's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's more about what is. And again, like we were saying last week, I personally feel like, the Black culture, the Black experience is, we are trendsetters, which is why we're appropriated by so many other cultures. But you never see how often do you see Asians saying, I want to be like this, or I want to be like that? So they all love what we do, what we create, who we are. But when it really comes down to it, when they can go and scapegoat, they absolutely do. Even some of the Caucasoids, when they decided they want to come and make rap albums and stuff, as soon as they get told that they're being too Black or they're being too anything, they will cut and bake, and all of a sudden they are whatever they were prior to, to what we were doing. So
shout out to Kid Rock.
Yeah,
but see, that goes.
Miley Cyrus, remember we was getting, we was getting 21. What was the song she had?
23s. Here I am. Yeah, 23.
I'm about to say 21s. I don't even know. I knew it was a number or something. And as soon as she became, to us, all of a sudden, she's like a wrecking ball, and she went back to her roots to become loved and adored again. So I definitely
like Drake.
Yeah, but y'all are talking about actual white people that embraced our culture, Black culture, right? Still not. I'm not necessarily talking about that. If you look at a lot of West Indians that come from
several, they all appropriate our culture, but they.
So look at what I'm saying is, look at a West Indian that came from the West Indies, fresh from the West Indies. He's not trying. They're not usually, on average, trying to embrace the culture of Americans. As a matter of fact, they're so proud they ride around with flags on their car from their countries all year long. Puerto Ricans do the same thing. All these
Black people have culture.
They do the same thing.
That's their protection.
Okay, oh God, here go Professor. But they do it. They do it all the time because they're not trying to come here and say, I am a Black American. No, they still acknowledge the fact that they're a Black person. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
I'm not saying
it must be nice to have a flag that represents you. It must be nice. Part of your culture.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they don't, say that they're Black. I'm saying they say that they're Black when it's convenient. When it gives
they're Black. They know they're Black.
Level of clout, but as soon as something happens, all of a sudden it's, I'm not that, I'm this, as a matter of convenience. But again,
I don't know where y'all see these people at.
Maybe you
all over, my man. I'm sorry, they are. They're all over.
I've been so many places in this country. I don't. When I see a, not to mention, I also have family that just came from the West Indies. They haven't been here for centuries. They just came from the West Indies. They're not out here talking about, oh, well, the moment I get racial, or someone saying something that is derogatory to me, oh, I'm not that. Who's doing that? Like, no, it's usually, why are you calling that to me, the individual? Where are y'all getting this from?
Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or indifferent. I'm just saying it is, and it is an experience that
I'm asking you what is.
All right, I'm gonna say this. So there was something
you got it too. I'm
something I wanted to touch on. Yes, so it was something I definitely want to touch on. So you notice that, you know, when folks come over here from other places, and shout out to them, you know what I'm saying? I rock with a lot of people. I got some Zoes that I rock with. I got a few Jamaicans I rock with, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I've never seen people so proud of their country that they fled from. They come to a place that's already built up, but yet they're flying their flags. But that's showing to our government and to other people that you have dual allegiances. You know what I'm saying? And they also do that. Here's the crux of it. The reason why they do that, because they want to separate themselves from us. They didn't come here to say, hey, I am one of you. I'm in this thing together with you. When we fought for the immigration bill and the Immigration Act, we thought we were bringing over more troops, brothers and sisters who was going to ride with us. But what ended up happening is that these folks was going against our better interests. And so now there's this divide that's happening, and there's nothing in the world that's going to stop it, because it has reached a point to where there's no turning back. It is, you know, like I said, I got love for everybody, but I love my people and I love my lineage. And, you know, I stand with them and doing the delineation, because that's going to protect us. When we focus on us and stop focusing on everybody else, that's, I mean,
so if you love where you're from, right? You love Black Americans, you love your lineage, you love where you come from. Those people that came from these other countries, right? These other third world countries to come here. It doesn't mean when you see them flying their flag, and I'm telling you this for a fact, when you see them flying their flag on their car, when they're representing Labor Day and they're celebrating their countries and all of that stuff, it has way more to do with their culture than anything else. The reason why they're not in there, no one's taken away from the fact that America is a great place to be. If you really want me to say this, it's going to sound crazy, but y'all gonna get mad at me when I say this. But y'all sound like white people, and I'm gonna say that with the straightest of faces, because y'all almost sound like Negro, go back to your country. And it's like, well, how dare you be here? I'm not saying you kid.
Y'all are going in my book of Negroes. Y'all are going in the book of Negroes.
You understand? I was like, wait, what I'm saying?
Let him finish, y'all. Let him finish. I hear him.
Because, right? It's almost like, how dare we be proud of still repping where we're from while we're out here. Yeah, we're out here for a better opportunity. The same way the same way the white people could tell you, take your black behind back to Africa.
They can't do that. See, that's the difference.
Whatever you could say they could or can't do. Y'all, just like y'all can't say go back to your country. No one can actually say that, because West Indians and Africans have contributed so much to this country as well.
We were here before they were.
That's why they can't say that. They got a lot of the doctors right now.
That's why they can't say that. That's why they can't say that. We were here before they were.
Yeah, no. And then the 14th Amendment specifically speaks about
Native Americans.
All of us didn't come on slave ships. We are the Native Americans.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that black people.
And I know this new to you.
I'm not saying new to who. New to who? You know who you talking to? You wildin'. You think that I don't know that there was black people in America before the first slave ship landed? That's crazy. There was Native Americans and black people. You still call them Indians, Quint. They're not Indians. But
I call them that so you would know what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about, because I disagree when you call them Indians, right? I say Native Americans and black people. So I already know that black people, the same dark skin, melanated complexion as me, was here. Right. And I'm darker than all of y'all on this panel. But it still doesn't take.
This is true. We concur.
You is a black.
I'm not. Hey, look. I'm not. Look. In the summertime, I'll catch up with you. I mean, just straight up, because I get rather dark in the summertime, brother. So it ain't even about that. It's so the thing is, we're not telling people go back to your country or stuff like that. But we never had the opportunity to run from a problem or run from a fight. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people overlook that part. We didn't run. We dealt with the most egregious type, and not to say that people who fled here didn't deal with stuff,
but yeah, exactly. The West Indians have to go through.
Right, but the thing is, we didn't run, we didn't flee. We sat here. All the changes that y'all come over here to get the experience and enjoy, that was because of us. All of it. And then when we see other people in other countries, other areas go through that type of stuff, we fought for them. We was like, yo, bring them over here, man. We're gonna fight for this. What y'all doing to them is wrong. You had Black Americans signing up to go and fight in every single conflict across this globe. And for what? Just to have a bunch of people come over here and stab us in the back? I'm not saying you, because you're a good dude. I rock with you.
And I would say, I wouldn't even say a bunch. I would just say a select few. It's not the masses. It's not the masses of people that's like, oh, I know black.
Yeah, but
I'm
the issue also is if in some of these countries they don't even get along with each other. So you got the Hutus
and they
and the
bring it
Tutsis.
here.
You got the dark skinned Dominicans versus light skinned Dominicans. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So to say they're bringing it here and they're benefiting off what we did is true, but it's not, because they do the same thing in their same country. They just bring that same crap when they come here. So everybody that comes has benefited from us.
Right. Even white people. And the thing is that even white Europeans come in and benefit off of what black people's done. Right?
Yep.
So
they do.
we're not taking away from the fact that, it's America has always been a melting pot, and that's what it's known for. But of course, the reason why they're fleeing is not like what happened in Haiti. They tend to, after they, the Haitians actually dominated the Spaniards, and then they took back their half of the country. Most of them didn't just flee until it was poverty, until they realized they can't live under those conditions. Yes, these are third world countries, and they come over here for a better living. Like I said, I spent my whole life around West Indians because I'm West Indian, right? So my whole life was literally around Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, you name it, Bajans, you name it, right? And also Americans. And I haven't heard such a clash in the same culture, just different diasporas of it, more than I'm hearing in 2024, 25.
Yeah, it's going, and it's. I called this a while ago, and I see it, and I've been seeing it. I'm like, damn, I wonder when this is gonna, pop up here, because I knew eventually the conversation will pop up because it's getting heavy. So here's the thing: look at the Congressional Black Caucus. That's supposed to be a loudspeaker for Black Americans specifically. But when you look at all the members, they all are from other places. The new one that they just appointed, she's Jamaican. And they all they do is do things for immigrants. They don't do a damn thing for the Black Americans. Not a damn thing.
Whose fault is that? Well, whose fault is that? It's not their fault. It's not their fault that their parents pushed them to be congressmen, representatives, and then the Congressional Black Caucus. It's not their fault that they did. It's not their fault that their parents came over as immigrants and pushed them to be better than what they should be. So, I mean, if we want things differently and want things more for us, and I keep saying this before, we need to be putting people in power that represent us, not other people's best interests. So I can't blame them for being in those positions.
So when was there ever a vote to vote this lady in? The public didn't vote for that. We don't vote for that.
So what qualifies you to be in the Congressional Black Caucus?
So from what I'm seeing, it just looked like you gotta be groomed and you gotta be handpicked by the dominant society. Because I mean, let's just be honest. Anybody that's ever put up there in front of us is somebody that we never picked. They're not from the grassroots. They're not from our ranks. So what you talking about?
So what's her job title? What job does she have?
What's her name? Karen, whatever. She's just now got appointed to the head of the Congressional Black Caucus. But the whole point about that, her job title, whatever, is mute, because everybody on that sits on that thing is literally working against our better interests.
So you have to be in the United States Congress, correct?
I suppose. Look her up. Just look her up right now.
Yeah, you have to be. I looked up now. Black members of the United States Congress, representative. So you have to be a member of the United States Congress. So that means she's an elected official.
Yeah.
So because she's an elected official, no matter how she got there, whether is it her fault that her parents pushed her to become a congresswoman?
I'm not saying whether that's her fault or not, but her job is to do things for Black Americans, not other people who aren't from here. Like,
no, her job is to do things for her culture and for other immigrants like herself, like her parents.
What is that?
But no, what I'm saying to you is no. What I'm saying to you is this: if my parents came over as immigrants, let's say I was Bayesian, if my parents came over as immigrants, and I now become a congressperson, I'm going to look out for my people back home, my Bayesian constituents, so that they have an easier opportunity to get over here and become just as assimilated as I have. That's why when you vote these people in, their interest is their home, their culture.
We didn't vote them in.
She's a voter. Somebody voted her in. She's a congressperson.
What I'm trying to say is she got into Congress before the Black Caucus.
So right. She got voted. So, now here's the thing. The Black Caucus was developed to do what? To work in the better interests of Black Americans. But see, it took us a while to really finally realize that wasn't the case. Like, all of it was a trick bag. You know what I'm saying? All over. And it's been like that for a very long time. But see, now they're starting to get the message like, Black Americans are waking up. They ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe no more. So it really don't matter who they appoint. They will never get enough votes from the Black Americans ever again. And that's going to mess up a lot of things for the whole immigration thing too. That's why you see a lot of people now, and I'm not talking about you, Mingo, because like I said, I respect you and you're doing something positive, you're building, and you invited me to your show. But a lot of people that's from other places, they're now saying, hey, we all Black, we all together, because they see what's happening. They see the divide and they see the shift. They can't do it without Black Americans. They just can't. And that's something that everybody gonna have to learn the hard way, just like we had to learn the hard way. Unfortunately,
well, just like we talked about Kamala Harris. I know Kit brought that up earlier, and how she was black, whatever. But she didn't pass any things when it came to Black people. She did pass help pass the Asian American Pacific Islander Act. When Obama was in office, what did he get passed for Black folk? So, but then we can say, well, his people are Kenyan and his mom is this and he grew up in it. So at the end of the day, it's if we keep voting in people who don't have our best interests at heart, whether they're Black, white, red, and different, then we're not going to get anything. Nothing's going to change in the Black community, in the foundational Black community. Because again, if you go to other countries, they don't even like each other. Why did the Igbos become what they became in Nigeria? It wasn't because it just happened. They were also looked upon a different way. They also treated differently, and they made themselves better people. So at the end of the day, when they come here, I can't complain. I can't say anything when they come here and do what they're supposed to do and become what they're supposed to be, and they take over the doctor's jobs and the congressional jobs and representative jobs, and they look out for their people. If we don't want that to happen to us, then we need to do it ourselves.
In a lot of these cases, y'all are not. When most people vote, they're voting for inclusion. They're not voting for their best interest, right? So, and Black people are known to do that, right? So instead of saying, okay, what is this person's true values? What are they going to say that's going to benefit me, the individual, along with the collective of people that look like me? But no, we'll vote someone in because they just look like me and not actually listen to what they're saying, right? So that's one of our biggest problems. The other part to this too is we don't know what else people are in these offices doing. We're only assuming right now, or we only do on what we might hear. We only hear what might try to get put to the forefront. But there's a lot that these people are doing on the back end to do a lot for Black people, but some of these things don't get passed. They don't get pushed. It's just, it is what it is. Not everything that just because you have the quote unquote power, it has to go down a pipeline. And most of these things don't get passed. It's not saying it's all like, as you just said, the Asian Act bill for what Kamala did. That got passed. Why? Because an overwhelming majority of people was talking about it. It's popular at the time, and they wanted the vote. So they got the vote. So that's just the biggest problem we have. But all in all, guess what? Before we move on to the next topic, we are Black people.
and I was gonna say something before we do move on. I was gonna say, and there's one thing you talk about, Chill. There's one thing Chill talks about a lot, which I agree with. He talks about leverage. And if these people have leverage because they have enough in the Senate and in the House of Reps, then whatever they get passed, we can't be mad about. We just need to do better and come together and make sure that the people we put in represent our interests first.
And to respond to that, so Black Americans do have a leverage, and now we're leaning on that leverage. We understand that people can't get nothing done unless we react to it or stomp or whatever. And that's why you see a bunch of people saying, where the Black folks at, man? Where they at? They ain't marching with us. And the public is trying to get us to react right now. Look, they went to go tear up the Black Lives Matter mural and all that stuff. We don't give a daggone about that because we ain't asked for it in the first place. Tear it up. Who cares?
And
they try to do anything to get us to come up out of our seats and get involved. Nah, buddy, y'all gonna have to hold your own nuts. We ain't with it, and it's enough of us now to make it effective. We ain't got to worry about the old boomer class because we outnumber them now. It's a wrap.
Hold on 1 second. Simi was good. She says this is my first time here. Is it the same panel each week? We try to switch it up. You know, sometimes I get different people to come on the panel. Different points, different opinions. If you would like to be on the panel, let me know.
Come on up.
So, all right. That's enough of y'all black asses. All right.
Hey, I'm Bahamian. I don't know if you're talking about. I'm Bahamian.
I knew something about you.
Yo, hold on. Is this blockchain? This blockchain?
I think so. Blockchain. Yeah, that's blockchain, I think.
Right, so look,
that's block. He said it earlier that he got a new.
Oh, he did.
He said, "Trust the process."
Hold up, yo. I'm gonna drop because I do want blockchain on this topic. Actually, you know what? Let me drop the.
You gonna bring a house Negro onto the topic? I love BCB. That's my dude. But you know, he wasn't in the field like the rest of you wasn't because you was over in West India. But like Chill and I was.
Why are y'all acting like black West Indians was not slaves? Yo, what is wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like we just went to the West Indies and just started eating mangoes and coconuts all day.
How you gonna leave me out, man?
I ain't say that. That's not what I.
You over there eating sugar canes, GMT.
Yo, White School Podcast is in the building. What up, my sister?
How you gonna leave me out, Professor? You think I was in the house?
Because if she can't use your comb, you can't bring her home. If it ain't nappy, I ain't happy.
They had me in that race with me, man.
You're a race trader, Quint.
Hey, they had me in that race.
Yo, my brother.
What up, BCB?
Hey, they had me, Professor. They had me in that rape with me, man.
Oh, you was getting buck broke.
Hold on,
not them.
Wait.
The women.
Wait.
The women, man. The women.
You can't use the R word, bruh.
You cannot use the R word.
No.
Oh, my bad.
I hear what you said.
Right.
I said raking. I said raking. Raking with a K.
Oh man.
Gotta get those leaves up in the fall. Gotta get them leaves up in the fall.
Man.
Yo, all right. Yo, let's get into this topic about social media. Right?
All right.
Hold up, I hear a lot of noise. Who's that? Where's that coming from? Yeah, blockchain, that was you. For some reason, it was giving a lot of background noise. So I want to get in this topic about social. I hear like a motorcycle now. It's
I got a super mic. Let me fix it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got the ultimate Assure right now. You got an Assure mic, right? Yeah, that pick up everything. That pick up everything. All right. So let's get into this topic about social media and relationships, right? And the effects that social media has on relationships. Let's go.
People like that people dissolve their marriages.
It used to be money. Now I really believe that social media has changed the entire landscape of relationships. The entire landscape. I remember when I started on divorce court, you never hear about it.
Yeah.
Now it's the go-to feel-good device when she's getting on my nerves or he's getting on my nerves. I used to have to leave the house to cheat. Now I can cheat on you sitting next to you.
Easy access.
I'm with easy access. And we are not creatures willing to deal with a lot of discomfort.
Right.
So instead of having the argument with you, I go online, do some subtext, Facebook, you know, a guy from junior high says hello, who's not currently getting on my nerves. Next thing you know, or there's an error made.
Okay. What's up, panel? Let's get into the topic. So let's get my boy Blockchain to speak on this one. Talk to me, my guy. How do you feel about the effects of social media and relationships in 2025?
I think that social media has affected.
Brother, you sound very low now. So we went from picking up everything. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
All right. So I feel like social media has had a negative effect on relationships because it's given too many below average or average men and women access to above average and extraordinary levels of attention. So they feel that as if their partner should be able to keep up with that. And I don't think that there are very many men on earth who can keep up with the amount of attention a woman will get on social media. And as long as he's in the position where he has to, or when he's in the position where he has to, that relationship is doomed for as long as she has an iPhone, an Android, or a laptop with Wi-Fi.
Yo, Quit. What's your thoughts on that? Quit just started smiling.
He's right about that. I was just talking about with the Wi-Fi because one of my homeboys don't have a cell phone. He keep calling me on the iPad. I mean, on a because when the house. So he's right. He's right about that. But yeah, I agree with him on that. A lot of people, a person can be well, I hate to say the word, but they can be downright, hideous and have a nice attribute about themselves and get a lot of attention online where they wouldn't get in person. So he's absolutely right. When a lot of people have all this access to different people, they're going to shoot their shot whether they think they can have them or not. And it makes them feel good to get that attention.
Okay. All right. Okay. Shout out. Hold up. My homie is in the building. I just saw her pop up. Dr. Crystal, what is good? She said social media is a brain wash. She said it create sensationalized, sympathetic characteristics. They're using all these big words with our relationships operate. Much love to you, Mingo. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank
you. Let Kit read it. Let Kit read it.
Hold on, and we got Shay. Shay is in the building. Shout out to Shay.
Oh, shout out to the Jamaican princess, Shay.
GMT. Can you put up Dr. Crystal's thing back so I can actually read it where people understand
the one that says, "What's up, homie?"
Okay. Social media is a brainwash. It creates and sensationalizes sociopathic characteristics with how relationships operate. Much love to you, Mingo. I'm proud of you. You should not be proud of his reading, but proud of him as a person, absolutely.
Oh, man. Yo, listen. Dr. Crystal, I love you. Thank you so much for being over here. I knew her since I was a kid, y'all. Since I was a kid. Shout out to her. So, all right. Kid, what's your thought on social media and what it's doing to society today?
Boy.
The relationships, not society. Relationships. Sorry.
Oh shit.
I definitely feel that social media aids people in creating their own demise. I don't blame social media. Social media is more of a tool and in a way to actually do the thing that you want to do. No different than when you had to leave the house to do whatever it was that you were going to do. You still wasn't having the conversation with your person. You still weren't trying to work it out. They were still getting on your nerves. You just had a different avenue. Social media has just become a tool that makes doing that activity easier for people's disposal. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. So no matter if social media is around or not, would make no difference. But it's just another avenue that makes it more convenient. But I don't blame social media for relationship issues. people are going to figure it out. If social media wasn't here and they still had carrier pigeons, they were going to train it to go to their second whoever's house to make sure that the message got through. It didn't matter. You feel what I'm saying? It's just a tool to be able to do the action, but you can't blame the tool for the person using it to create the action itself.
Damn. Hard for me to say, but I agree with everything she just said. I mean, look, we can sit up here and point fingers at social media all day. It's at the end of the day, it was and is supposed to be a tool to help make our lives easier, to help us, do a multitude of things. But what it did do, it kind of, like for the women, it gave them access to a bunch of options that a lot of them don't really qualify for. And let's just keep it a buck. And I'm gonna get to the guys second too. I'm not gonna sit there and make it seem like I'm just talking about the ladies, but let's keep it a buck. When things ain't working right, jobs ain't working right, one thing that a woman always know, well, I can always go shake a tail feather on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I can get the bills paid that way. These are things that be happening. And then for the fellas, oh man, it don't really work like that for the fellas, truth be told. A lot of fellas try to use social media as an outlet to get the women, like social media apps, dating apps, stuff like that. But it ends up backfiring on them because they don't really get what they want. They just get what they can. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'll settle for this for right now until my status change or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? It usually end up like that. And the one thing that I do like about social media, though, and I've always told fellas this, no matter how many times I've been on the show, I always told fellas, you should be able to use social media to see what type of woman you got in your midst. You know what I'm saying? The social media is basically telling you who this person is. She got all these fancy pictures. You know what I'm saying? She got pictures with her booty tooted up in the air. That says something. That means something. So, it's a good way to kind of vet the individuals you allow close to you. You know what I'm saying? Versus the individual you were just like Willie would say, versus the individual you will feed to the mattress. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I think we all pretty much gonna be saying the same thing. It is what it is, man. You make it what it is. Now, I'll land right there.
All right. Professor, what's your thoughts on the topic, my guy?
I mean, I think we're all in agreement for once here. We live in a time where people value likes over love, DMs over direct conversations, and cloud over commitment. They also live in a mirage of the ability or the opportunity to get other women or other men. And that's not necessarily the case. So they think they can always do better. We live in a society where the grass is always greener, but we fail to take the time to realize if we water and fertilize our own lawn, things will be a lot better. So social media, and then on top of that, when you put your relationship into social media, that creates a whole nother ball of can of worms as well, because now you allow other people who maybe you don't directly connect with on a consistent basis to be in your relationship and say things. So it's a double-edged sword on both sides. Use social media for what you need to use it for, whether it's business, whether it's staying connected to people that you need to stay connected with. But other than that, when you let social media in your relationships, there's an issue. And then when social media is taking over your relationship and you have people on their phones doing whatever they're doing, now they think they have an opportunity to be with somebody else or one up you, and then they end up crapping out.
All right, so I got a question for the panel then. If you're in a relationship and you want your relationship to work, would you end your social media for a certain amount of time in order to work it out with your spouse?
I'm gonna let everybody else answer that first, and then I'm gonna reserve my answer until everybody else answers, because I'm very specific on this one.
I'll go first. I don't think you should have to end anything. I think if they don't have the maturity to have social media and not get involved in all that, then they're not the right person. They're too immature to have a great relationship. So you have to be mature enough to ignore that bull jive.
So okay, think about all of your answers before. All of your answers before came along the lines of it could actually be an issue because of the access that you have. So in some cases, it takes away focus from certain things, from you being active in life. I know a lot of people are not where they want to be because they spend if you look at their social media log time, roughly 80 hours a week on social media. So if you think it could affect your relationship, wouldn't it be wise to get off of that? Turn it down. Actually delete it for some time.
The
I'll
average
compare it to the. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
the average single person spends 68 hours a week on social media. Of those 60
Damn.
hours a week, they're engaging with people directly for half of that. So if that statistic is true, you have people who are engaging with people who aren't in their circle, who aren't in them, who could be all over the world trying to do things or have conversation with to create friends with that they'll never meet or have any type of significant relationship with. Now you take that person who's in a relationship and then it doesn't change. The number doesn't go down very much. It's like 2 or 3 hours less. They're still having 30 hours a week of engagement with people who aren't their partner. So let's say me and Kit were in a relationship and I'm a wild boy sometimes, so I mess up every 6 months. So it's my 6 month mess up time, and Kit's mad at me. Kit's mad at me because I won't do something, and she's on my neck about it. So of those 30 hours of women that I'm talking to, we'll say half the time of the 30 is women I'm talking to. So for those 15 hours that I'm talking to other women, those women are on my neck about anything. They probably just as thick as Kit, probably just as chocolate as Kit, because clearly that's my type. And I'm automatically getting what I want from a woman, or what I want from Kit, which is her to shut up and not be mad at me, from other women. It makes those other women more attractive to me. It's just, that's human nature. So if you think that you're setting yourself up for success by spending that much time engaging with other people on social media, strangers, doing all the attention seeking behavior, which is posting, because you only post for attention. If you ever think that that's going to set up a relationship for failure, you really don't like your partner. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh yeah, I'm gonna take 60 hours of my attention a week from my partner and then think my relationship's supposed to work on top of me working 40 hours a week, on top of me taking care of kids, on top of me supposed to be doing what I'm doing around the house. Where does she get her attention from?
No, he's right, and added that 67% of women in a report said that they receive good morning messages from dudes they barely know. So when you take so when you're taking your attention away from your partner, I use banks a lot. So when you take your attention away from your partner, you're taking that what you could give to your partner and depositing that into a different bank or different bank accounts, depending on how many people you're talking to. So then when you go to have that emotional connection with your woman, just like when you don't put enough money in a bank account, there's nothing left. There's nothing for you to withdraw. So now you go into where you put all your emotion into, because you're getting that feedback from those other accounts. So now that's what you're going to look to when times get hard in your relationship, or when Kit's not acting right, or when Willie's not acting right in Kit. And so now Kit's going to talk to one of those 67 dudes in her inbox every morning telling her good morning and she don't even know.
But I will say this though. So your question was, would you not stop it for a while to fix or, update whatever you need to do with your relationship? So every time something happens, we stop using the tool. I think it's about the lack of self-discipline as far as how it's being used. If you know that this is something that is a hindrance, you stopping cold turkey for a while to see how that pans out with your partner and going back to it, even if you're not going back to it with that idea in mind. Again, Willie likes to mess up every 6 months.
Well, not likes to. I just
will.
My pattern. I will mess up at least once.
Will.
You know what I'm saying? We know that at least twice a year this nigga gonna piss me off. Oh, excuse me, the N-word is gonna piss me off. So, now he's gonna stop using social media to figure out where we need to be, and then, after the hiatus, go back to it, right? But again,
that's the thing.
like 12 and 6, we already know it's gonna happen again. So again, how do we start taking accountability as to how we're using social media to show up, right? Because again, it is to be social, but if you know that you have these quote unquote contracts with people as far as how your relationship should go, whether they're monogamous, whether they have intent, whatever the case is, where do we say, okay, you know what? I've done enough on social media for today or whatever. I'm going to take this time and put and invest into my partner versus just saying I'm not going to use social media because I know it's a catalyst for something. Because if that's the case, it's like drugs. And I don't know too many drug dealers who ain't either, or druggies who are not either on the drugs consistently or they're in some kind of rehab because the drugs aren't doing them justice. So where does it come to where we say, okay, know how to use social media in a way that's not going to put us in this position to feel like we have to entertain these other people in this way?
Wait, that was my point too. You can't stop doing something that bothers you and then start doing it again later. Because nobody goes to rehab for smoking crack and then just crack free for 6 months and say, okay, well, I think I can smoke crack again. That's not how
Right.
it works.
Exactly.
You have to stop doing it. So if something becomes an issue in your relationship and you stop doing it, of course the issue goes away. But it's foolhardily to think that when you start doing it again, it's not going to have the same results. To do the same thing twice and expect different results makes you nuttier than squirrel doo-doo. And there's no point in anybody saying, well, okay, well, I got to get off social media because I'm getting all these free news, all this attention, and now Kit done see me liking the girls' pictures. Now I'm in trouble because I done got caught. Like, it's not one of those things where it's not going to happen again, because as soon as I get off social media for them 6 months, after, I done got back in Kit's good graces, we sleeping in the same bed again, she putting her cold ass feet on me, all of that stuff. Once I log back into Instagram, all that same attention is there waiting for me. And it's probably going to be worse because I've been gone. So you can't cut something off and then think you're going to bring it back and it's not going to affect the relationship again.
I agree with that.
I concur.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely
figure it out.
But
Cold
but
ass
I mean,
feet.
granted how we're dealing with it and how we're using social media, I think we're all human beings, right? And after all of us want attention. And I think that's what we need to agree to. That's what we need to come to understanding to begin with. We're all human beings. We're all going to eventually enjoy some type of attention, especially if you're going through something with the person that you're with, right? So it makes it easier when somebody jumps in your inbox and says, hey, what's up? You look good today. Hey, what's up? I'm in your neighborhood. What's up? I'm trying to see what's up. And you in a relationship. So yeah, I agree. The best thing you can do is cancel it. Now,
isn't that the problem though? Like, to just ask the question, right? It's like, you said like, oh, it's the easy thing, right? But anything worth having, you're gonna have to put a level of work to, right? So why is it that you're seeking out the easy thing? And this is about how people go against their own best interest. We already know that the easy thing normally alludes to harder things later on, because you didn't get to know the person. You didn't, it was just something that you could get away from and do. And now you put, the time and energy and experience that you've already had with a person in jeopardy for something that was easy and not really smart, not being obtained smart. Excuse me, not being attained in a smart way. You're basically you just, oh, it's easy, I don't have to do XYZ, but you literally already put in all this work and all of this, time with this other person to build, and none of that was easy. So the fact that you're looking for the easy way out, knowing that you didn't do the due diligence to make sure that the easy path was going to be the best path, you're going against your own best interest. And to me, that again, it still warrants a level of, if I'm in a relationship and I'm using social media, I have to not only, be respectful and responsible for the relationship that I'm in, but also, not entertaining things that I know can be a detriment to what I already have.
But no, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's how it's supposed to be. But I like to talk about the way the world actually is. And let's keep it real. The majority of people do fall for temptation. And social media creates a path for temptation. It just is what it is. Even if it's clothes or a car that you want to buy, you see it on social media, you might not have the money, but you're going to go buy it.
But
That's what.
Have to pay.
Hey, I will say this is good. It's good. It's good that it caused temptation. The reason why I say, man, don't delete your social media because fellas need a barometer, and so do women.
Evil is good.
Fellas, yeah, this is good. I want the females to have temptation because then you get look. This is how you tell if you got a woman that has a certain level of discipline versus a woman who is just shot buck wild and who just don't care. Like, look, let's just be honest. If a woman if she's entertaining a guy and she doesn't have to lose, then yeah, she's going to be rampant on her social media. But usually, when women feel that they got a partner and they definitely have something to lose, they on their own shy away from social media because they're like, you know what? Even though he ain't saying nothing, even though he ain't going through my phone or anything like that, I ain't trying to mess this up because this is good. When a woman starts to shy away from temptation, she is letting you know, I got something good. I actually got something to lose now. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I don't want people going out here deleting their social media because they're in a relationship. Because it's a frame of reference, it's a barometer for you to measure what type of situation you got going on. You know? That's my stance.
Well, I'm saying it more in a way of deleting it because I'm saying it more in a way of deleting it if it's causing a problem in your relationship, right? If you know it's distracting you, if you know it's a problem, because not all of us, especially men, most men ain't getting their DMs flooded. You know what I'm saying? But most women, they are, right? So a lot of women are. A lot of women, even wild.
I would say most women are because of how many men are thirsty, or I don't want to use the S word, but have very low standards for the type of women that they will give their free attention to. I mean,
I will say this: use the S word, but you want to know what S word I say? Use the sexual scavengers. Them dudes, they are flooding the DMs of every female out here because they're scavengers. They're ravenous. There's a lot of thirsty dudes out here who ain't getting no attention, and they're flooding the DM boxes. But
I use the F word. I use fatherless. I'll use fatherless.
Let me say this, right? Because for one, I'm literally in a group, a couple of groups where women who are either dating or they're looking like they're trying to see if this person that they've been entertaining is like worth, the squeeze, and they literally, is this person messing with anybody? Before I get too involved, I want to check and make sure. And sometimes it'd be like, all green flags, sis, you good to go. And then sometimes it'd be a soliloquy. I think I was telling GMT at one time that there was this guy and he had baby mamas through the roof, and they didn't even know, some of them didn't even know his real name. Like, it was wild crazy. So they definitely be out there, lurking. And I just want to point out that the super chat that Mr. Beeman put up is absolutely 100% facts and truth. Like, or having a joint social media page, surefire way to know that one of them used to be a 304 or so vajayjay. And keep in mind, and I mean this on both ends, most times if you see a joint page, somebody got caught cheating through their social media. And now, to make sure that we're just being transparent, we're going to share a page because we love each other and we want to keep each other accountable.
That's crazy. You know what's messed up, kid? I met my ex-wife in one of those "Are we dating the same guy?" pages. A girl posted me, and then nobody had no dirt. And then the girl was like, "Well, if he's not returning your phone calls, you mind if I shoot my shot?" And then she said, "LOL, I'm doing it anyway." She inboxed me, and we have 2 children now. So, like, those groups, they can turn out to be great, especially when you're a dude and you conduct yourself way. Because one of the things that I'm real big on is not having smut on my name, but being in them groups, like, a lot of those women who are in there are just dry lying on men. They're just mad because the dude didn't respond to them or didn't give them what they want. But again, that's what happens when you have a social media presence, or when you one of these guys who in here, as Chill put, sexually scavenging between these women's inboxes. Because when you look at those posts, it's never attractive women that have bad things to say about these men. It's always the
Not true.
The pressures of the group. The pressures of the group.
I'm trying to think how to word it, but
the Gabrielle Sidibays of the group.
It's never the hyper attractive women that have anything to say, because hyper attractive women don't utilize those groups. It's like the lower middle echelon of physically attractive women that have those problems with men and will even take the chance of embarrassing themselves that way. Because, for example, if we were in the same group or my name got posted in the group you was in, Kit, you would speak up for me. Because if someone was like, oh, yeah, he did this, this, and this, and you know that's not my character, you'd be like, no, I know him. That's not how he is. So a lot of those.
But you know what happens when people do that? Because I've seen it. Because I don't utilize the group. It's more for entertainment. Because I'd be like, wow, you let him breathe on you? That's a whole nother conversation. Anywho, but when I see it, you know, a lot of the times when women try to take up for the man, like they know, like, oh, I know him. He would never be like that or whatever. The rebuttal is, well, you know him as a friend. So whereas he may not have said or done whatever to you, that doesn't mean that he's not doing it to other women or he didn't do it to me. So it's kind of like, whereas you might treat me, you know, like you got some good sense, you might be treating them like Sammy Sausage Head. And now we got two different, you know, points of view when it comes to, you know, who you are as a person, a character witness, you know, so. But I definitely get what you're saying, but it definitely happens like that. I was just saying that to say, like you said, they be playing, some guys be out here like the Easter egg hunt. And I'm talking about they'll have a girl, they'll have a whole family. I mean, not saying that women won't do it too. I know I'll be quick to be like, what about the women out there? But I'm talking about like I knew a chick that was dating a dude, and now keep in mind the dude wound up not dating her anymore, got married, but then was still my homegirl who was, I think she's on, what is it, Hinge or something like that, happened to see his profile that he had just accessed like an hour prior to her, happened to see his profile. So again, people will find a way. It's not, social media is nothing more than the tool and the catalyst. If people want to do it, they will send a smoke signal.
I mean, but that, and I agree with that. That's the same argument as like, you know, guns don't kill people, people kill people, right? Same argument, right?
Yeah, that's the exact same argument.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, you get in my face, I'm gonna use my weapon. Same thing that goes with temptation, right? Bad chick that that you feel is out of your league is actually in your inbox. You might try to shoot your shot, right? You might do what you got to do because it's there. Temptation, it's there. Same thing with women. You know what I'm saying? You're not happy with your husband no more. That dude that always gave you a certain amount of attention, or that dude that you never really got over when you was in high school or college or whatever, is now up in your inbox saying, what's up? You mad at your current husband, you feel like you don't like him no more, temptation is just there. So that's why people are saying that social media is killing relationships.
So do we just go around life just avoiding temptations? Like, I mean, is
everybody fights temptations every day.
You gotta have that maturity.
Everybody does. Is that not true?
No, I'm just saying, like, here's the thing. So some things that are tempting aren't necessarily bad for you. It's just something that's, you know, that you was tempted to do. Now, when you're thinking about it, like, so now do we just walk around like avoiding all temptation? So if social media is a temptation to talk to other people, so it's not about learning discipline and not doing the action, it's just get rid of the temptation altogether. I don't know. I'm just
you can learn temptation. You learn that while you're learning
you can't drive past McDonald's.
Huh?
If you're big, you can't drive past McDonald's. You got to reroute.
Hell, you should.
No, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, there's certain parts of Charlotte I gotta stay away from. Certain parts of Charlotte I gotta stay away from because I hit all three of them up at the same time.
It's like Wall Street said. It's like Blockchain said earlier when he said that crackhead. You don't put crack around a crackhead because you're gonna be tempted. It is what it is.
That's
why I can't go. That's why I can't go to New Hampshire.
Look, but you see what happened when they put Pookie back in the crack house.
You put me
Remember-
around white women, I'm gonna relapse.
Really?
No, man.
God.
Look,
Really?
leave me alone.
Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you, man.
Look, I remember on New Jack City, he was trying to prove himself. And what they do, they put him
I'm
in,
like
in the
Pookie.
Lions Den. They put him in. They put Pookie with all the cracks.
It keep
Okay.
calling me.
Exactly.
Hey, Professor.
Look what Q said. Look what Q
Professor.
said. Q said, stop
What's up?
going to bars 3 decades ago because I know my weakness.
Exactly.
Right?
I'll be in the closet right with Quinn if I keep going to them damn
Yeah,
bars.
look at my
agree with
wife.
that. I'm gonna agree
We're
with
having a
Dion.
conversation.
It's a lot of
She said-
hypotheticals. A lot of
Just
hypotheticals.
hypotheticals. We having a
Maybe,
conversation.
yeah, just hypotheticals. But I mean, I don't know, man.
Valentine, man.
I don't know. I can't stay out of the bars, man. I love my
It's
bar.
Providence Road.
Hopper. But look, at the end of the day, man, we're never gonna get rid of social media. If you have fear of your partner having social media, it's not going to change. It's not going to go in. You know what I'm saying? But not even so much as a wrong partner. Like for men, your woman got to have something to lose. You have to be that individual that if you're no longer in her life and she messes it up, her life goes to, excuse my French, goes to shit. But that's just what it is. You gotta have something to lose, And if you don't have nothing to lose, then it is what it. Hold on, what'd you say?
That's not going to be very many men. Out of 10, it may be one of us. Because most men aren't in a position to be the type of men that if a woman lost them, their life would shift much. Because unfortunately, most women have multiple men on the level of their man that can replace him, and all it takes is a text message or a phone call. For the types of men that can actually do something or be substantial enough of a man that a woman's livelihood and life will change when he removes himself from her life, we're very few and far in between.
Hold on. So, all right. Well, what do you think is required of a man to be able to change a woman's life? Now, I think we need to start there first.
Providing a lifestyle that she can't afford on her own.
And so I'm trying to ask you, what does that? And let's take money off the table.
You can't.
There's other things you have to. In this equation, you're going to have to, because there are other things that
50% is going to be 50% money.
Okay.
Worst.
So, outside of that, what other things are required in order for a woman to feel like she has something to lose? Because there's some other attributes too as well.
No, so it's not what does she have to require that she feel like she can lose. It's what does she have to require that she feels like she has something to lose that the average man can't also do for her. That's the difference. Because the average man,
what is that?
Man can pay half the bills. The average man can do all of the average traditional man stuff. The above average man, the exceptional man that women will have to have in order to feel like she's lost something, because there's not a lot of us going around. So if she lost an average dude, then cool, she can go get another one. But say she lost you, a dude with means, network, status, attention, and who is just emotionally regulated and capable, you check all her boxes. There are not very many men like her that she has access to. So if she lost a guy like you, then she's definitely going to have a hard time replacing you. If she lost the average $60,000 a year postal worker, she can replace him by going to Walmart or to another post office. That's my point.
I hear you, but I will say this, it usually don't happen like that. If they lose a dude that's making 60K, the next guy they get ain't gonna be making 60K. That dude gonna be flipping burgers at McDonald's or something. It's always a decline. It's never a, like that or whatever. It's a steady decline. But I'm trying to get beyond like resources and stuff. I was just trying to more so talk about the things that actually changes the woman's life. Like when men put women as a priority, you know what I'm saying? When I say putting them as priority, there's things that she don't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Handy around the house, good with his hands, building stuff, making sure the vehicles are taken care of, knowing where to take her without her having to ask or make suggestions. Hell, on her boot game, taking her shopping for certain things, like accessory type things. Women love being taken out shopping for like accessories, like getting their built game up. I ain't talking about pocketbooks and stuff, but you can throw that in the list. And oh my God, for some reason, women got like this thing for these high boots, these boots that go all the way up to the thighs. I didn't know they get off on that, man. I did that.
They call them FB boots.
Yeah, man. Them things, man. Took a woman shopping for those things, and she was just tickled pink.
Those are all
she'll throw all that shit away for a rich dude.
Yeah, for Chris Brown.
I use me and Kit as an example. If I'm dealing with Kit, and Kit, when I met Kit, she had a 3 Series BMW. When she gets with me, now she's in a Benz or a female type of Bentley. The difference in lifestyle that happens when I remove myself is significant to her.
But I will say this: all of those things are good, but outside of that, what about the things that actually connect me to you outside?
Those are all average. That's by default. That's a default thing. That's why I'm saying that's not special to guys with money, means, or status. That's not independent to. That's not isolated to us. Any guy can have those things. He can be.
So you're talking. Okay, so when you say, just for clarity, so when you're saying these things, those things are just or an automatic that's just a part of the person. And
why would you? Yeah, because I'm assuming that you wouldn't be with someone who didn't give you those basic needs in a relationship.
But you have a lot of people who are like,
but we're talking about like the general. I'm giving people benefit of the doubt. So I'm generally speaking, assuming that women are, emotionally mature enough to understand that, hey, they need a guy who's emotionally mature, well regulated. He's got good character. He's got integrity. He's honest. I'm saying I'm not talking about these damaged women. We're not going to talk about the small set. We're going to talk about the majority.
And the only reason I say that is because a lot of the times when men are having these conversations, it's more about what they can afford to do for a woman versus who they can be to a woman, and more about who, like, feeding into who she is as a person versus what she likes to drive and what she likes to live in. So there's been a lot of women who have left men that have had all of these means because they didn't have the other part that made them feel like a whole person. So
no argument there.
Okay,
argument there. But what I will add is there's not very many that done that. I would say that more women stay with men because they're comfortable and they want that lifestyle than they will because they don't get the extra stuff.
And after you do have a good amount that have, you know what I'm saying? We see it all the time, whether it's in everyday life or just even in Hollywood. Like, look, Mr. Clinton was getting, slobby knobby in the Oval Office, and Hillary is still there. I'm just saying.
You gotta understand why though. He was getting sloppy because.
Wait, that man he was the most powerful man in the world. Please understand this, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. As honest and morally upright as I am, if I'm the president of the United States and I'm single, please believe I'm going to have the United Nations of head givers on my staff. Like there is no way. Now, being married, I'm not going to do it, obviously, because I'm not going to be a cheater and the president. Like that's wild. But it's me right now.
Like, you out of office.
Yeah, bro. We having like a round table.
Like Obama.
Listen, you think all these ambassadors earn their positions? I promise you, they earn their positions. Like y'all are tricked.
And for me, I get what Kid is saying. I get where you're coming from. I get where Kid is coming from, right? But the reason why resources are so important when men talk is because without resources, like there's really no relationship. It's a major part of it. And one thing I don't like is when
finance is a nuisance. And I've said that before too.
But hold on. One thing I don't like is when women try to take away that as if it's not something major. As if I could be broke, but hand you all of this good stuff, my positivity, my encouragement, my upliftment, my whatever, and I did nothing to build myself, you're gone. So it'll only last for a limited time until
you can't say she's gone. But what the Iron Man version of that statement will be: if you have a guy, you have a version of Kit. I'll just use us as an example because I don't want to get Mingo in trouble because his wife in the comments. So, so say we're in a relationship, or say there's two versions of me. There's me, and we're both going to give you everything you need physically, spiritually, all the other stuff, right? And then there's a version of me that can also give you any lifestyle you want. Mm-hmm. I don't want you. I'm not going to put you in a position to sit here and lie on the internet, but I would say that I would bet with a fair amount of certainty you're going to take the version of me with money and lifestyle because you're still getting the rest of the other stuff. So that's the difference. We're not saying you can't say that if a woman has a guy who's giving her all that stuff that she's going to be gone if he doesn't have money. But we can definitely say that if you can pick between two identical men, Both of them have everything you need, but one has the lifestyle, the money, the network, and the means to do the other lifestyle stuff. You're not taking the dude who doesn't have that. Like, you would be stupid to. It's like a guy.
Right,
We would be stupid just to
but everybody wants an upgrade, right? So if I'm getting, and if both men have equally all the things that feed into who I am as a woman, as a person, but this other person can put me in positions to take his wealth and grow it, if he, if so be it, whether he's growing it or not, flip it, like make things happen, just live a lifestyle that I would want to do. That's a no-brainer, right? Like, who's gonna say, you know what? No, I don't think a Bentley and being able to run a charitable, profitable organization is gonna be up my alley. I'm just gonna go and work with love and let him sleep in my house because he doesn't have one, because homosexuality. Like, no, like that I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense. That's not even feasible, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're getting the same thing at a base level. But I always like to say this too, though, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a table, that they can bring, but is it worth the seat? You feel what I'm saying? Like, everybody, you ain't got to sit at everybody's table and have a seat. So if my table is over here, that's fine. I like my seat over here. Like,
a lot of women walk around with just a seat, not a
so
table.
I want to, and also I want to address what he's saying here. Yeah, all day, we all know that your resources, your money is not at all. Yeah, there's women that's out there sleeping with the pool guy, you know what I'm saying, while their husband is a multi-millionaire. We're not saying that money keeps, we're not,
he is right.
Yeah, but no, he's right. But I'm not
He's
saying
right.
I'm not saying that's the main and the major thing that you have. But what we're talking about is a man. Let's not act like resources is not a major part. Character matters as well. Like Blockchain said, if you meet a man with both character and means, that's going to be a way more attractive man. It is what it is. That's what we're trying to say. Is when y'all try to remove it as, I will deal with a homeless man, it's okay. No woman said no woman ever.
But here's the thing, GMT, and I knew you were going to say that, and I put this on my own life. I swear to God, y'all.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I promise you, it's that serious. I was literally watching Cheaters maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago. This man actually came on the show. I mean, downtown, high rise, luxury vehicles, corporate, he's making great bread, married, kept feeling like his wife was cheating on him. Long story short, this woman was cheating on him with a homeless man. And I'm talking actual I'm talking actual homeless, where he literally would have to go into the dumpster to like get things because he lived behind.
Yeah, but she wouldn't want to be with him though.
Yeah,
she's not. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about a woman that enjoys getting her clap
for him.
No, she didn't.
I saw that episode.
She left her husband for you. Get out of here.
I saw that episode. I saw that episode.
She
left her husband for Anti-Merriweather.
For him. They were literally, when the camera crew pulled up, they were in his little hut that he built behind, like where the dumpsters were in the restaurant. They were in his little nook getting busy in the homeless housing section that he created. And she literally had a home downtown, high rise with stuff. I'm trying to tell you.
I saw that episode, and I saw that episode for real. And my thing is, I feel like she hated her husband, number one, and number two. That's why I say having social media or not don't matter, because 9 times out of 10, that homeless dude told her what she wanted to hear, and her disdain or dislike for her husband.
I feel
spare me, baby, spare me.
Listen,
hey,
I feel real bad. I feel real bad, Quint, but I'm just gonna tell you now, right? I know the producers of that show, and that half of the episode is fake. 1,000,000,000% fake.
You off from down the thing. That's where it is.
It's got to be fake. Everything a woman, a wife left her husband for a homeless man that was rich.
the fake conversation does, you know what I'm saying, create a genuine opportunity for discourse. But
Right.
again, Kit, I will use this as an example. I know that you would rather shit in your hands and clap than leave me for a homeless man. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
You want to see how it would look? Just like this.
Hold on. Let me address this real quick. Let me address my wife real quick because my wife seems not to understand how men work.
Oh yeah, that's the easy one too. That's a home run.
That's a
home run response.
A woman that works at McDonald's, we could care less. Men can care less where you work. You could work at McDonald's. You could be sweeping floors.
You got a nice seat on them.
If you're cooperative, you're beautiful.
Give us a special sauce.
You have all that the man is asking for.
Really?
You. Hold on, let me finish saying what I'm saying. Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Between Quentin and Professor, they be messing me up. I can't stand them.
I like her sesame seed buns.
I can't.
But that's real. That's real. Y'all know we don't care. So it's complete. Men and women don't think the same. So
also a woman like that, they could give more to because she's doesn't really have much, so the life experience they give her is going to be an upgrade from what she has working at McDonald's. So
wait a second, hold on, wait. Here's a pushback for that one. It's easy. If the reason why I would date someone at McDonald's, one, she still got to be my age or within my age range, so she still had life experiences, and it probably wasn't too good if she got sent back to working at McDonald's. The reason why those women are suitable as far as options is because we don't care about y'all's resources. We want your warmth, your compassion, your nurturing, your love, your support, and all of that other feminine stuff. That's not indicative. That's not just, I'm saying, only exclusive to someone who works at a high-paying job. And to be honest, the more money a woman makes, the more independent she is, and the further away from understanding that in a relationship, you have to be interdependent on your partner and not independent of or from him. So that woman who makes less, she tends to be a better partner for the men who actually want women who are feminine and willing to be provided for.
Right. I'm gonna have to have a talk with my wife later on this evening. This is not gonna go good.
You better get them on packages to your house, GMT.
Mingo.
You see, first of all, you had this thing agreeing with Wall Street with this Amazon driver. Now she talking about Amazon. Like, what's up with you and these Amazon drivers?
Hey, you better.
Anyway, you better believe I got cameras up.
Amazon drivers because no more.
Hold on, she missing the entire
point.
She missing the entire point. You know what I'm saying? The point is that what we're trying to say is means matter more to women than they do to men. And the only reason why my wife is saying this is because she met me when I had nothing. But let's not say that I'm not a more attractive option even to my wife today than I was 15 years ago. Right now, if you met me, wife, and if you want, you can click the link. If you met me, and this is for all women. If you met your man today, even if you met him and he had nothing, but to now he is something. But I was that same man walking with the big white t-shirts on, baggy jeans, hanging out on the streets with my boys. I was making $15 an hour, and I was cool at my job, and I was well known in my neighborhood. You would not want to be with me as opposed to me being a productive man. That matters to women, and it should. Because guess what? I have to be the provider of the house. Why is this hard for even my wife to understand? Stop making me look bad online.
GMT, I'm gonna say something.
Damn,
unfortunately, I hate to admit this,
I'm about to block her.
I've unfortunately had to watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies, and they all leave for the UPS driver. So I'm just saying, GMT, you gotta.
The UPS driver making a six figures off rip now.
Exactly.
Their new contract. They
down with the Browns, Jack.
Yeah, the UPS union is crazy nice. Like they wouldn't negotiate a six-figure salary for drivers. Like once you come out of there, bam, you right there at the listen. They just made UPS drivers eligible bachelors for almost all women who require a six-figure earner.
Yeah,
they for some mid-market don't go anymore.
Yeah. I ain't seen my Amazon drivers be driving Nissan Altimas and shit now. I don't think none of them doing too good.
Now Amazon drivers ain't making it like that,
Yeah.
man.
And they're not 2024 versions either.
Yeah.
I can tell you, my 18-year-old work for Amazon right now.
Bro, I had a lady come and drop off a package on my doorstep, and it was like a Nissan Altima. But when I looked at the ring footage, I thought she was taking one. I thought I had got porch pirated. So I ran downstairs trying to go get her, and then my package was on the doorstep, and she was like, "Thank you," but I saw her blue Amazon thing on, so I was like, "Damn, they got y'all doing Amazon like Uber Eats and DoorDash? That's crazy."
The Nissan Altima is the struggle car for the lady. They all got the Altima.
Yeah, I mean, no, all the Nissan Altima means that she got at least 2 men on child support.
If social media
So he said, so Neil one says, he says, if social media existed when our parents were dating, would
Hell
they have
no.
still gotten together? It would be the same.
Hell,
What's going on right now? Pretty much that's going to be.
Hey, what are we talking about? Half our parents to get together. They were just effing.
Man, I ain't seen my father and mother in the same room but twice in my life. When I graduated high school and when I graduated boot camp. So hell no, they wouldn't have still got together. No. Why would
my brothers and sisters?
I got plenty of cousins that got their grandparents got 10 kids and got a whole lot of different fathers.
Man,
you don't find out your brother and sister to the funeral, right?
Look, I'm so lucky that I made it to 41 years of age and still found out that I'm still an only child. I ain't had no like brothers come out, no secret sisters, because I know my daddy was a hoe when he was young. And I'm so thankful that I still get to believe that I'm an only child for every year that it lasts.
He might have had that strong pull-out game like your boy.
Now, I don't know, man, because my grandmother, I got 4 uncles, and they all got different daddies. So I don't believe that a pull-out game is something that exists in my family.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, so if they had IG back then, it would have been the same situation.
I'm telling you now, mine is
terrible. Y'all Negroes sound like y'all getting tired. Yo, hold up. Check it, right? Before we go, I got those that wasn't here earlier. I got a surprise for y'all. Check this out and get yourself ready for Meet to Marry season 2, dropping in roughly a week and a half from today. North Carolina, a city of energy and charm, and now a second chance at love.
You got to start back over, man.
And now we're back for season 2. More dates, more choices, and let's be honest, more drama.
So here's how it works. Our main contestant is on a search to find love. They will meet 3 hopeful daters, but at the end, they'll have to eliminate 2.
So here's the twist. Our dater could either choose to match with our main contestant or eliminate them.
That's right. It's all about bold choices and finding the one or realizing they're not the one.
So who will find love and who will leave disappointed?
So find out now on an all-new episode of Meet to Marry.
All right. We getting ready to drop season number 2 of Meet to Marry.
Good job.
Tell a friend, we are live and active over here. Putting in that work on this side to give y'all pure entertainment, better quality, better everything. We are up in the game for season number 2. Shout out to y'all. So
we got better women this time too.
Oh man.
I don't know, man. Season 1 had some tough ones. I don't know, man. Season 1
did good. The women on season 1 was cool. You know, I mean,
credit. They did.
The dudes though. The dudes. Some of the dudes.
Hey, we don't need to talk about Leather Suit Larry or
Leather Suit Larry.
Aboard chicken Charles.
Oh man, you talking about the pop the balloon spray paint guy. Y'all
yeah.
He did get caught out with that too, didn't he?
Had an underbite.
Look like an extra for Matrix. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, wait. Did you make sure these people have like legit addresses that don't have 4 attached to them?
Say that one more time.
Did you make sure that these like male contestants like actually have like mailing addresses that don't also come with a VIN number?
He's so petty. You're so petty. I love it.
I love it.
I'm just asking because I'm already trying to help get people for season 4, and I just need to know like what the requirements are because I know some people.
So
so
check it, right?
The address of the vendor about the same.
So we did have someone sign up. Come to find out, this dude, he may have been on the same level. He asked me for money so much, it was like, dude, what are we doing here? So we couldn't.
He asked you for money.
Was he on the episode of Cheaters?
Yeah.
Like not gas money, but just regular money?
No, it was literally gas money. Like gas money. Like, yo, I need like you give me gas money. You know what I'm saying? So we had to. So basically, what I'm saying that to say is that we have to make sure that we vetted out better men.
Yeah,
women.
At least check
I was asking Mingo for gas money, and I drive an EV. So I'm just saying, Mingo, where my gas money at?
We did light bill money.
just have them screenshot the Credit Karma off their phone when they do the job for them. And Credit Karma is a lot cheaper anyway. It's gonna give you like extra 40 points. So just
we need actual addresses. That's something we're gonna have to add on the form. But shout out to my team. My wife has been working so hard. Shay has been working so hard. Professor, Makiba, Kid, the whole crew. The whole crew. And Blockchain, he is, believe it or not, the big one. I would say the biggest supporter as well. And I want to thank you, Blockchain.
That's your wife, bro. I'm number 2. Your wife.
We're talking about the immediate, but definitely you support, man, and I really appreciate everything that you do. Also, everyone in the audience. Also, my guy, I'm so chill for all of the super chats, everything that y'all always do, and also being over here, growing this side of the channel as well has been significant because without starting this, I don't even think I would even have the idea to do Meet to Marry. So shout out to all of y'all. Right. Give y'all the props, the respects. Also, Chill keeps me on track a lot, yo. I be slipping. He be like, Mingo, get on board, get on board, get on board. So much love and shout out to y'all.
I want to say,
all right.
Wait, before we close out, because I don't even think I'll pay attention. Wait, before we close out, I don't think that you've even really paid this any attention. But we are literally 2 weeks away from episode 50. We are almost at episode 50. Yeah. Like that is
like 48.
I'm about to wear a leather suit.
48. So in 2 weeks,
I'm gonna go spray paint my beard.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
You know what? And oddly enough, that will actually your 50th episode is on my birthday. So that is super awesome. Yep, your 50th episode is on my birthday.
Is your internet gonna be better?
My internet is fine. I don't know what y'all talking
about. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Internet look like you
look like
blurry.
You look like you're using AOL online.
You look like you're at that house right now. You got that same internet Jess used to have.
That's so crazy. On my side, everything is clear. Everybody's clear. I'm clear.
You using Net Zero?
No, that's
AOL online.
No, I mean, no, internet.
I feel like I'm looking at you through like a stained glass window or something. Like
she got Time Warner. She got Roadrunner.
Mingo, I thought Jessica came back at first.
Oh, y'all for real?
It's like, yo, who is that?
Hey,
you got DSL, don't
you? For season 2, I got you for the reunion thing again. We're gonna do a little something a little bigger this time. I got an idea. I'm gonna run past you.
I love it.
But I love it. I'll keep my social.
I love it.
Full enough to go somewhere afterwards instead of going back home and going to sleep.
Yo, no, we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do it big. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you, man. He held us down. For those of y'all don't know, he sponsored the dinner for the after party of the reunion, man. It made it that much better. So thank you so much, my guy. Thank you. Also, my guy Prime is in the building. What up, Prime? Good to see you over here, family.
I didn't know we allowed that.
And because of that dinner, we actually had a match at that dinner.
A match?
We had a match at that dinner. Then somebody moved. Yes, somebody got together and moved to Florida.
Wait a second. If I'm over here doing matchmaking, I need 10% of whatever it is that they.
We'll talk off camera about it.
That's crazy.
We'll talk off camera about it.
There was 2 matches from the dinner though. There was 2. Yeah, when y'all see the other one, y'all gonna be like, damn.
See?
Oh, I know. Hold up. I know. Yo, blockchain. Hill, son. Yo, listen. Yo, hold up, my guy. My God, the International Quiet Storm is in the building. Shout out.
Is that what that stands for?
Yeah.
Y'all.
I like that. I like that name.
Yeah, that's cool. I just didn't know what I couldn't figure out what the Q was for the longest. I was quarrelsome.
International Quiet Storm. He said 2 jobs in Nissan Altima on doorsteps. He says, I got questions. All right. So check it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the show. Much appreciated, much love. And we got a good one for y'all. Stay tuned for my Friday show. I might pop up in the middle of the week because there's a conversation that just came out that I want to have with y'all. So I might do a show in the middle of the week so we can get into it. But until then, stay tuned for Me to Mary and much more. And we will see y'all on the next one.
Is there something I can say?